Discourse on objects of desire. If it prospers for one desiring objects of desire, the fellow, of course, becomes exhilarated in mind, having got what he wants. If for a person desiring with strong preference aroused, those objects of desire dwindle away, he is distressed as though pierced with a spike. Whoever avoids objects of desire, as with one's foot the head of a snake, he, being mindful, transcends this attachment in the world. Whatever man is greedy for fields, property, or gold, cows and horses, slaves and servants, women, relations, various objects of desire, the powerless overpower him, troubles press him down. Thus unease comes to him like water into a broken boat. So a person, always mindful, should avoid objects of desire. Having abandoned them, he would cross the flood, like one who has gone to the other shore, having bailed out his boat. Eight-verse discourse on the cave. Holding fast in a cave much obscured, a man stays plunged in confused stupidity. He, being of such a type, is far from detachment. Objects of desire in this world are indeed not easy to abandon. Founded in desire, bound to the pleasures of existence, people are released with difficulty, and indeed cannot get release from another. Hoping for what is after or before, longing for these desirable objects or former ones. Greedy, engrossed, confounded over objects of desire, miserly, they are entrenched in the way of inequality. And brought to an uneasy end, they lament, "What will become of us when we have passed away from here?" Therefore, a person should train himself right here and now. Whatever he would know in the world to be a way of inequality, not because of that should he go along the unequal way. The wise say this life is but a little thing indeed. I see in the world this race of men thrashing about with craving for existences. Inferior men cry out in the jaws of death with craving not gone for this or that existence. See them thrashing in the midst of what they call mine, like fishes in a dried-up stream with little water. And having seen that, one should go the way of not mine, not working up attachment for existences. Having dismissed preference for either extreme, having thoroughly understood stimulation, not greedy for anything, not doing that which would lead to self-reproach, a wise man is not stuck to by the seen or the heard. Having truly understood perception, he would cross over the flood. A sage is not mired with possessions. With the spike pulled out, going with mind unclouded, he does not wish for this world or another. 8-verse discourse on the corrupt. Some corrupt-minded ones do make arguments. Then again, true-minded ones make arguments also. But a sage does not have recourse to any arisen argument. Therefore, the sage is not unyielding at all. How would one get over his own view? led on by preference, entrenched in personal inclination, working up consummate systems for himself. Indeed, as one would understand, so would he argue. Whatever person, even unasked, speaks to others of his own morality and observances, whoever even of his own accord speaks of himself, adept ones say his is an ignoble way. But a mendicant at peace, with self completely blown out, not boasting about his morality, saying, "I am like this," for whom there are no distinguished positions at all in the world, adept ones say that his is a noble way. Whosever philosophies are contrived, determined, and set before them are not immaculate. Whatever the advantage he sees for himself, he is dependent upon a peace that is conditioned by instability. Indeed, not easily got past are the entrenchments of views seized, having discriminated, from among the philosophies. Thus, a man, amid those entrenchments, discards, adopts a philosophy. For the purified man, there is not at all in the world a contrived view concerning this or that existence. The purified man, having abandoned illusion and self-regard, what would he go by, he who has recourse to nothing? Indeed, one having recourse to philosophies has recourse to argumentation. To one not having recourse, about what, how, would one make an argument? For him, indeed, there is nothing acquired or discarded. He has shaken off all views even here. 8-verse Discourse on the Pure. I see the pure, the ultimate, the diseaseless. By view, complete purity is for a man. Understanding such, having known the ultimate, a seer of purity relies upon knowledge. If by view purity is for a man, or by knowledge he abandons unease, then he who is already encumbered is purified by something extra. Indeed, the view betrays him claiming in that way. The holy man does not say purity is from anything extraneous, from the seen, from the heard, from morality and observances, or from the felt, not mired by merit or by evil, leaving behind what was acquired. He is not working up anything here. Abandoning what was before, they have adhered to what is after. Following their disturbed passions, they do not cross over attachment. They take up and let go, like a monkey releasing and grabbing a branch. A person having taken religious observances upon himself goes high and low, holding fast to perception. But the experienced one, by realizations having attained to the way, does not go high or low, being broad in understanding. He has become at peace among all philosophies, and toward whatever is seen or heard or felt, that one, going along clear-sighted, open. By what here in the world would one judge him? They conceive nothing, they set nothing before them. They do not argue. This is absolute purity. Having let loose the tied-up tie of acquisition, they make no wish at all in the world. The holy man is gone beyond boundaries. By him, there is nothing he has known or seen that is seized upon. He has no passion for passion. He is not impassioned for dispassion. By him nothing outward has been taken up here. 8-verse discourse on the ultimate. Abiding in views, thinking it is the ultimate. A person makes out one in the world to be outstanding. Therefore he says that all others are inferior. Thus he has not passed beyond contentions. Whatever advantage he sees for himself in the seen, in the heard, in morality and observances, or in the felt, he, having seized upon that very thing there, views all others to be inferior. But adept ones call that a tie, dependent upon which he views another to be inferior. So upon the seen, the heard, or the felt, or upon morality and observances, a mendicant would not depend. Also, he would not conceive a view in the world based on knowledge or also morality and observances. He would not present himself as equal, nor would he imagine to be inferior or superior. Having abandoned what was acquired, not taking up anything, he would not be in dependence even upon knowledge. He truly is not a partisan among the schoolmen. He does not fall back on any view at all. For whom there is no intent here for either extreme, for this or that existence, here or hereafter. For him there are no entrenchments seized, having discriminated from among the philosophies. By him here, in the seen, the heard, or the felt, there is not contrived even the slightest perception. That holy man not adopting a view, by what here in the world would one judge him? They conceive nothing, they set nothing before them. Also no philosophies are received by them. A holy man is not to be led on by morality and observances. Gone to the other shore, one who is such does not fall back. Discourse on agedness. Truly, this life is a little thing. One dies within just 100 years, or even if one lives beyond that, then one certainly dies of decrepitude. People sorrow over what they call mine. Indeed, there are no permanent possessions. This is verily a state of deprivation. Seeing thus, one should not dwell in a house. At death also, that is lost, of which a man imagines, this is mine. So having realized this an intelligent person, my disciple would not incline toward mineness. Just as a man awakened does not see one he met in a dream, even so a beloved fellow that is dead, expired, one does not see. Seen and heard are these fellows who are called by this or that name. Of a dead person only the name will remain to be announced. Those who are greedy for what they would call mine do not leave behind sorrow, lamentation, and fear of loss. Therefore, sages, leaving behind possession, have gone forth seeing sanctuary. Of a mendicant who lives withdrawn, resorting to a solitary sitting place, they say it is fitting of him that he would not manifest himself in any settled abiding. Everywhere the sage is independent. He does not make up what is loved or what is unloved either. Therefore, lamentation and fear of loss, like water on a leaf, do not stick. And like a drop of moisture on a water lily, like water on a lotus does not stick, even so the sage is not mired with what is seen, heard, or felt. Thus the purified man does not imagine anything regarding what is seen, heard, or felt. He does not want purity through what is extraneous. Indeed, he is neither passionate nor impassive. Discourse to Tissa. To one given to sexuality, said the Venerable Tissa, tell us what is the harm, sir. Having heard your teaching, we would train ourselves in solitude. By one given to sexuality, metea, said the Blessed One, the teaching is even forgotten, and wrongly he proceeds. This in him is ignoble. Whoever, having formerly lived alone, indulges in sexuality is like a vehicle veered off course in the world. Inferior, they call that common fellow. And whatever fame and repute were formerly his, those also are left behind. So having seen this, one should train himself to well abandon sexuality. Oppressed by thoughts, he broods like a wretch. Having heard the declamations of others, one of such a type becomes downcast. Then, reproved by the words of others, he makes up weapons of defense. Surely this for him is immense greed. He plunges into falsehood. Recognized as an intelligent person, determined upon the solitary life, and then become given to sexuality, like an idiot he is drawn into troubles. Having understood this bad result, the sage, here, earlier and later, would make steadfast his solitary life. He would not indulge in sexuality. He would train himself just in detachment. This is supreme for noble ones, but not by that would he imagine to be preeminent. He truly is near to blowing out. Mankind, tied up in sensual pleasures, envies the sage, living empty, not hoping for sensual pleasures, who has crossed the flood. Discourse to Pasura. Only here is purity. Thus they argue. They say purity is not in other philosophies, claiming the good to be there. In what they are dependent upon, they are variously entrenched in individual truths. They, desirous of argument, having plunged into the assembly, contrarily hold each other to be a fool. They argue away at the controversy, each adhering to something different, desirous of praise, claiming to be adepts. Engaged in debate in the midst of the assembly, wanting praise, one becomes worried about being beaten. Further, upon being refuted, he becomes downcast. He is upset by censure and is a seeker of weaknesses. When the judges say some argument of his is deficient and refuted, he with the inferior argument laments and sorrows. He overcame me. Thus he cries. These contentions are arisen amongst philosophers. In them occur beating and being beaten. So having seen this, one should refrain from controversy. Indeed, There is no other purpose in it than the gain of praise. Further, if he is praised there, having announced his argument in the midst of the assembly, he is mirthful and self-satisfied by that, having achieved that purpose as was his intention. Yet any self-satisfaction is the ground for his own harm, as he argues with conceit and contemptuousness. Having seen this too, one should not contend. Adept ones say purity is indeed not by that. Like a hero nourished by royal food, he comes thundering along, wanting an opponent. Run off to wherever he is, hero. The one for battle has never been here. Those who, having taken up a view, contend and argue, only this is true, make your arguments to them. There certainly are not here any fighters in an argument that has arisen. But those who live having made themselves at peace, not opposing view against views, what would you get from them, Pasura, by whom nothing outward has been taken up here? And now you are come theorizing, thinking over beliefs in your mind. You are come into engagement with a purified man. You certainly will not be able to advance. Discourse to Magandiya. Having seen craving, dissatisfaction, and passion, there did not occur even an inclination to sexuality. Just what is this? Full of urine and dung? I would not want to touch it even with my foot. If you do not want a treasure such as this, a woman desired by many lords of men, what belief, what morality and observances, what way of life, and what kind of rebirth into existence do you declare? There is nothing of which I say, I declare this, Magandiya, said the Blessed One, seized, having discriminated, from among the philosophies. But looking among the views, not taking hold of anything, examining, I saw inner peace. Whatever discriminations have been conceived, said Magandiya, truly, O sage, you speak of them without taking hold. This inner peace, whatever it means, how is it made known by the wise? Not by what is viewed, not by what is heard, not by inner knowledge. Magandiya, said the Blessed One, nor by morality and observances is purity said to be. By absence of what is viewed, by absence of what is heard, by non-knowledge, by amorality, by non-observance, also not by that. So having let go of these, not taking hold of anything, a peaceful one, not being dependent, would not have longings for existence. If you say that not by what is viewed, not by what is heard, not by inner knowledge, said Magandiya, nor by morality and observances is purity said to be, by absence of what is viewed, by absence of what is heard, by non-knowledge, by amorality, by non-observance, also not by that, then I imagine that to be a confused philosophy indeed. Some do rely on purity by view, and having depended upon view, inquiring, Magandiya, said the Blessed One, you have become confounded by what you have seized upon, and so you have not seen the slightest sense in this. Therefore, you hold it to be confused. He who imagines the existence of equal, superior, or inferior would contend with regard to that. To one not vacillating among three distinctions, there occurs no equal or superior. What would that holy man argue, saying, "It is true"? Or with regard to what would he contend, saying, "It is false"? For whom there is neither equal or unequal, with whom would he engage in argument? A sage, having abandoned his home, going without fixed abode, not working up intimacies in a village, rid of objects of desire, setting nothing before him, would not take up a position and make debate with the people. From whatever things he has detached himself as he would roam through the world, not taking hold of them, a great one would not put forth an argument. Just as a white lotus whose stalk arises from the water is not mired by water and mud, even so a sage, a speaker of peace, one without greed, is not mired by sensuality and the world. One who has realized does not come to conceit through what is viewed or felt, for he is not made up of that. He is not to be led on by what is done, or heard either. He is not brought to a conclusion among entrenchments. There are no ties for one dispassioned toward perception. There are no confusions for one released by understanding. But those who have grabbed hold of perception and view roam through the world causing trouble. Discourse on before the breakup. Having what vision, having what morality, is one said to be at peace? Tell me this, O Gautama, you are asked about the Supreme Man. With craving gone before the breaking up of life, said the Blessed One, not dependent upon former times, not to be determined in the present, he has not anything set before him. Not angry, not intimidated, not boastful, not beset with worry. A speaker of discretion, not pompous. He truly is a sage whose speech is restrained. With no attachment to the future, he does not sorrow over the past. A viewer of detachment among stimulations, he is not led into views. He is withdrawn, not a schemer, not covetous, not afraid of loss, not audacious, not beset with aversion, and not given to denigration, not attracted to what is pleasant, and not given to contemptuousness, mild and possessed of ready wit. He is not devout, he is not impassive. He does not train himself through desire of gain, and he is not upset at lack of gain. He is not opposed to craving, nor is he greedy for savory stimulations. An indifferent onlooker, always mindful, he imagines nothing in the world to be equal, nor superior, nor lower. For him there are no distinguished positions. With whom there is no sense of dependence, having understood the way, independent. With whom there is not to be found craving for existence or for non-existence. Him I call at peace, one not hoping for the objects of desire. With him there are no ties to be found. He has crossed over attachment. For him there are no sons or livestock, nor field nor property to be found. Regarding him there is not to be detected anything acquired or discarded. that for which common people would criticize him, or also philosophers and holy men, he has not set that before him. Therefore he is not disturbed amid criticisms. Without greed for gain, not afraid of loss, a sage does not put forth a claim as among superiors, nor as among equals, nor as among inferiors. He does not come to conception. He is without conception. He for whom there is nothing his own in the world, and who does not sorrow over what is not there, and who does not go by philosophies, he truly is said to be at peace. Discourse on quarrels and contentions. Derived from what are quarrels and contentions, lamentations and sorrows, along with fear of loss, conceit and contempt, along with denigration. From what have they derived? Please tell us this. Derived from what is loved are quarrels and contentions, lamentations and sorrows, along with fear of loss, conceit and contempt, along with denigration. Conjoined with fear of loss are quarrels and contentions, and denigration is from contentions that have arisen. In what in the world would what is loved be founded? And also whatever yearnings roam over the world, and founded in what are hopes and ends, which are for a man's future state. Founded in preference is what is loved in the world, and also whatever yearnings roam over the world, and founded in this are hopes and ends, which are for a man's future state. Preference is founded in what in the world. Also, derived from what are discriminations, anger, falsehood, and brooding uncertainty, and also whatever philosophies are declared by the philosopher. What they call pleasant and unpleasant in the world, depending upon that preference, derives. Having viewed among forms, non-existence and existence, a person makes a discrimination in the world. Anger, falsehood, and brooding uncertainty, and those philosophies also are in just that pair. The uncertain one should train himself on the path of understanding, the philosophies declared by the philosopher having been understood. In what are founded pleasant and unpleasant? In what not being do they not exist? And non-existence and existence too, whatever that means. Tell me that, in which they are founded. In stimulation are founded pleasant and unpleasant. In stimulation not being, they do not exist. Non-existence and existence too, whatever it means. I tell you that they are founded in this. Stimulation is founded in what in the world? Also derived from what are possessions? In what not being is there no sense of mindness? In devoidness of what do stimulations not stimulate? Stimulation is conditioned by name and form. Founded in desire are possessions. In desire not being there is no sense of mindness. In devoidness of form, stimulations do not stimulate. In one, how attained does form become void, and how also do ease and unease become void? Tell me in what way they become void. My intention has been that we should know this. He has no perception of perception. He has no perception of non-perception. He is not without perception. He has no perception of void. For one who has attained thus form becomes void. For founded in perception is diversifying designation. That which we asked, you have related to us. Let us ask you something more. Please tell us this. Do indeed some intelligent ones here declare that the highest purity of the spirit is to that extent, or do they declare that it is even more than that? Indeed, some intelligent ones here do declare that the highest purity of the spirit is to that extent, but then some of them, claiming to be adepts, declare an attainment in which nothing that was taken up remains. So having understood these to be dependent, the sage, an investigator, having understood the ways of dependence, a released one, having understood, does not come to contention. The wise one does not attain to this or that existence. Small discourse on tactical deployment. Each abiding in his own view, having taken up a position, adepts make different arguments. He who knows thus has realized the way. Denying this, one is imperfect. And thus, having taken up a position, they contend and say the other is a fool, not an adept. Which of these is the true argument? Indeed, even all of them are claiming to be adepts. If by not consenting to another's philosophy, one is a lowly fool of inferior understanding, then even all are fools, with quite inferior understanding, even all of those abiding in a view. If by their own view, even though they are not immaculate, they are of purified understanding, adept, possessed of insight, then not one of them is of deficient understanding. Indeed, their views also are in that way consummate. Truly, I do not say, it is so, which fools say contrarily to each other. They have each made out their own view to be true. Therefore, indeed, they hold the other to be the fool. That which some say is true is so, others say is vain, is false, and thus having taken up a position they contend. Why do philosophers not declare just one way? There is but one truth, not a second, over which a knowing one would contend with a knowing one. But philosophers call out different truths for themselves. Therefore, they do not declare just one way. Why do they declare different truths, argumentative, claiming to be adepts? Many different truths are heard, or else they just follow speculation. Indeed, there are not many different perennial truths in the world, except by means of perception. So having contrived a speculation from among the views, they speak of a duality of truth and falsehood. The seen, the heard, morality and observances, and the felt. Depending upon these he is disdainful, and standing in his discrimination, scoffing. He says, the other is a fool, not an adept. That very thing by which he holds the other to be a fool, by that he speaks of himself as an adept. He himself, claiming himself to be adept, disdains another while speaking just the same. Just by his excessive view he is consummate, drunk with conceit, considering himself to be complete, by himself consecrated in his own mind. Indeed, that view of his also is in that way consummate. Indeed, if by another's words someone is inferior, then oneself also comes to be of inferior understanding. Then again, if of oneself one is a realizer of truth, a wise man, then among philosophers no one is a fool. Those who proclaim a philosophy other than this have failed at purity and are imperfect. Just so do sectarians severally claim. Indeed, they are impassioned with passion for their own views. Only here is purity, thus they argue. They say purity is not in other philosophies. Just so are sectarians severally entrenched, steadfastly proclaiming their own method. But steadfastly proclaiming his own method, what other person here should he hold to be the fool? Even he himself would bring about the conflict, declaring the other to be a fool with an impure philosophy. Standing in discrimination, having measured himself up, he comes to further contention in the world. But having left behind all discriminations, a person makes no conflict in the world. Great discourse on tactical deployment. Whichever of these abiding in a view contend, saying, only this is true, even all of them incur censure, but then they also get praise therein. Yet it is only a little, not enough to be equable. I tell you of the two fruits of contention. So having seen this, one should not contend, regarding as sanctuary the ground of non-contention. Whatever common conventions there are, an experienced one does not have recourse to any of them. How would he without recourse come to have recourse, when not making submission to the seen and the heard? Those who think morality is supreme say purity is by self-restraint. Having taken upon themselves an observance, they are dedicated to it. Let us train ourselves right here and now, and then there would be purity. Claiming to be adepts, they are brought up to further existence. If he has fallen away from his morality and observances, he is agitated, having failed in his action. He longs for and aspires to pure freedom from wrong. Like one who has lost his caravan and is far from home, but having abandoned all morality and observances, and that action that is criticized or uncriticized, not aspiring to purity or non-purity, he would live refraining, not taking hold even of peace. Depending upon ignorant darkness or upon something being shunned in aversion, or then again upon the seen, the heard, or the felt, in their going on they cry for purity, with craving not gone for this or that existence. Indeed, for one aspiring there are things longed for, and also there is agitation among contrived conceptions. But he for whom there is no falling away or arising here, why would he be agitated, and what would he long for? That very philosophy which some say is ultimate, others say is deficient. Which of these is the true argument? Indeed, even all of them are claiming to be adepts. Indeed, they say their own philosophy is complete, while they say the philosophy of another is deficient, and thus, having taken up a position, they contend, each saying his own convention is the truth. If by being scorned by another one were deficient, then among philosophies none would be outstanding. Indeed, they severally claim the other's philosophy to be inferior, while steadfastly proclaiming their own. And just as they praise their own methods, even so is their veneration of their own philosophies. Even all arguments would be correct. Indeed, their purity is only subjective. For the holy man there is nothing outward which would lead him, seized, having discriminated from among the philosophies. Thus he has transcended contentions. Indeed, he sees no extraneous philosophy to be preeminent. I understand. I see. It is just like this. Some rely on purity by view. If one has viewed something, what indeed has one got by it? Having overshot, they argue that purity is by something extraneous. Seeing, a man views name and form, and having viewed he will understand just those. Let him see much or little as he desires. Adept ones say purity is indeed not by that. Indeed, not easy to guide is a dogmatist who is setting before him a contrived view. Claiming the good to be there in what he is dependent upon, he is a proclaimer of purity who has seen reality there. Not conceiving, the holy man has no recourse to any designation. He is neither a follower of views nor an adherent of knowledge. And he, having known the common conventions, looks on indifferently while others take them up. The sage, having let loose his ties here in the world, is not a partisan among contentions that have arisen. Peaceful among those who are not at peace, he is an indifferent onlooker, not taking hold of things, while others take them up. Having left behind former encumbering influences and not working up new ones, he does not go by inclination, nor is he a dogmatist. He, a wise one, is freed of beliefs. He is not mired in the world, and he does not reproach himself. He is become at peace among all philosophies, and toward whatever is seen or heard or felt. He, a sage, has put down his burden and is freed, not conceiving, not desisting, not aspiring. Discourse on the Quick. I ask that kinsman of the sun, the great seer, about detachment and the state of peace. How, having seen, does a mendicant blow out, not taking up anything in the world? One with discretion would arrest. I am, said the Blessed One, the whole root of diversifying designation, whatever cravings there are within himself. He would train in their dismissal, always being mindful. Whatever philosophy he would well understand, from within himself, or then also from without. Not through that would he build up firmness of position. Not indeed is that called being blown out by the virtuous. He would not imagine himself to be better by that, nor lower, nor then again similar. Though being touched by many forms, he would not stay contriving conceptions for himself. Just within himself would he come to be at peace, A mendicant would not seek peace from the extraneous. For one at peace within himself, there is nothing acquired, so how anything discarded? Just as in the middle of the sea, no wave arises, and it stays still, so would an undisturbed one stay still. A mendicant would work up no distinguished position at all. The open-eyed one has related the trouble-dispelling way based on his own experience. Tell us the line of progress, Venerable Sir, the ethical duty, and then also mental concentration. He would not be restless with his eyes. He would close his ears to village talk. He would not be greedy for savory stimulations, and he would not consider anything mine in the world. Whenever he would be touched by affliction, a mendicant would work up no lamentation at all. He would not pray for existence, nor would he be shaken amongst terrors. Staple foods and drinks, other eatables, and then also clothes. Having got them, he would not make a hoard, nor would he be in dread at not getting them. A meditator would not be restless for roving about. He would refrain from worry. He would not be clouded in mind. Also in sitting places and resting places where there is little sound, a mendicant would dwell. He would not make much of sleep. Strenuous in rigor, he would avail himself of wakefulness, indolence, illusion, laughter, play, and sexuality he would abandon, along with their accessories. He would not practice atharva magic, interpreting of dreams, interpreting of signs, or then also astrology. A disciple would not cultivate the interpreting of animal cries, causing of fecundity, or the art of healing. A mendicant would not be agitated by censure. He would not be self-satisfied when praised. Yearning along with fear of loss, anger, and denigration he would dispel. He would not stay with buying and selling. A mendicant would work up no criticism at all. He would not be a nuisance in a village. He would not accost the people with desire for gain. And a mendicant would not be a boaster, and he would not utter a word with an ulterior motive. He would not train himself in audacity. He would not speak contentious speech. He would not be led into falsehood. Being with full awareness, he would not make betrayals of trust. Then also he would not have contempt for another because of way of life, understanding, or morality and observances. Provoked, having heard many a word from philosophers or from common people, he would not retort to them with harshness, for those with virtue do not put up a fight. And understanding this way, a mendicant, examining, always mindful, would train himself. Having understood the state of being blown out as peace, he would not be clouded in mind regarding Gautama's teaching. He indeed, a conqueror unconquered, saw the way based on his own experience, not on hearsay. Therefore, indeed, following the teaching of that Blessed One, with mind unclouded always, paying homage, one should train himself. Discourse on the uptaken stick. Fear is aroused by a stick one has acquired. Look at people in conflict. I shall relate to you a feeling of urgency, how it was felt by me. Having seen mankind thrashing about like fishes in little water, obstructed by one another. Having seen, fear took hold of me. The world was entirely without substance. All the quarters were shaken. Wanting a settled abiding for myself, I saw nothing that had not succumbed. But even in succumbing, people are obstructed. Having seen this, strong dissatisfaction arose in me. Then I saw a spike here, hard to see, stuck in the heart. Subjected to this spike through all the quarters one runs about, having pulled out just this spike, one does not run, one does not sink. Thereupon training rules are recited which are ties in the world. One should not be engrossed in them, but having broken through in every respect the objects of desire, one should train for one's own blowing out. One should be truthful, not audacious, not causing illusions, rid of denigration, without anger. A sage would cross over the evil of yearning and manyness of wants. A man intent upon blowing out would rise above sleepiness, indolence, and inertia. He would not abide with cloudiness of mind. He would not stand in contemptuousness. He would not be led into falsehood. He would not work up affection for form, and he would thoroughly understand self-regard. He would live refraining from impetuosity. He would not rejoice in the old. He would not make submission to the new. In something being lost, he would not sorrow. He would not be stuck on ethereal show. I call greed the great flood. I call longing the current, supporting stimuli the turbulence, objects of desire the mud so hard to get over. Not deviating from truth, the sage, the holy man, stands upon high ground. Having relinquished everything, he truly is said to be at peace. He truly is an experienced one. He is one who has realized. Having understood the way, he is not dependent. Rightly, he is conducting himself through the world. He does not envy anyone here. Whoever here has got beyond objects of desire, an attachment in the world hard to get over, he does not sorrow, he does not brood. He has cut off the stream, he is without bonds. Whatever was before, make it wither away. After, let there not be anything for yourself. If in the present you will not grab hold, you will live your life at peace. For whom there is nothing considered to be mine, in any respect among name and form, and who does not sorrow over what is not there, he truly does not suffer loss in the world. For whom there is no thought of, this is for me, or anything for others either, he, not feeling any sense of mindness, in thinking it is not for me, does not sorrow. Not being harsh, not being greedy, being undisturbed by passion, being everywhere equanimous, I tell you of this advantage when asked of the one who is without vacillation. For the undisturbed, understanding one, there is not any resultant. He has refrained from endeavor. He sees sanctuary everywhere. Not as among equals, not as among inferiors, nor as among superiors does a sage put forth a claim. He is at peace, without any fear of loss. He does not acquire, he does not discard. Discourse to Sariputta. Never before have I seen, said the Venerable Sariputta, nor heard from anyone of such a sweetly speaking teacher become leader of a following of the contented. Just as the one with vision is viewed by the world with its gods, having dispelled all darkness, he has arrived at satisfaction all alone. To that enlightened one unadhering, being one who is such, who, without scheming, is become leader of a following. For the many here who are bound there is one come with a question. For a mendicant feeling aversion, resorting to an empty sitting place, the root of a tree or a cemetery, or in caves in the mountains, in resting places high and low, what is the extent of the terrors there by which a mendicant should not be agitated in his noiseless dwelling place? How many are the troubles in the world, for one going to the quarter never gone, which a mendicant should readily withstand in his secluded dwelling place? What should be his manners of speech? What should be his fields of resort here? What morality and observances should there be for a mendicant who has applied himself? Having taken upon himself what training, unified in mind, self-possessed, mindful, would he blow away his own impurity, just as a smith does to silver? What is comfort for one feeling aversion? Sariputta, said the Blessed One. If availing himself of an empty place for sitting and resting, being desirous of full enlightenment in accordance with the way, that I shall tell you in accordance with my knowing. 5 fearful things a wise man would not fear: a mendicant, mindful, living in self-restriction, biting flies, mosquitoes, crawling things, affliction by humans and beasts. And he would not be intimidated by the followers of other ways, even though having seen of them many terrors. One who is a seeker after adeptness would readily withstand other troubles as well. Touched by the affliction of illness, of hunger, he would endure cold and also heat. Touched by them in many ways, that homeless one, putting forth exertion, would make steadfast his vigor. He would not work at thievery, he would not speak what is false, he would touch with loving kindness the moving and the still. Whatever he would understand to be turbidity of mind, he would dispel, thinking it is on the side of blackness. He would not go under the influence of anger and contempt, and having dug up their root he would stay. Then what is loved and also what is unloved, he would masterfully withstand, overmastering. Having set understanding before him, exhilarated by righteousness, he would render groundless those troubles. He would rise above dissatisfaction in his secluded resting place. He would rise above 4 ways of lamentation. What shall I eat? Or where shall I eat? I certainly slept uneasily. Where shall I sleep tonight? These thoughts which would lead to lamentation. One in training, living without fixed abode, would dismiss. Having got food and clothing at a suitable time, he would know moderation herein for the purpose of contentment, guarded with respect to those things, going self-controlled in a village, he would not speak a harsh word even if provoked. With eyes downcast and not restless for roving about, given to meditation, he would be very wakeful. Starting with indifference, self-composed, he would cut off the tendency toward speculation and worry. When reproved with words, he, being mindful, would rejoice. He would break down unyieldingness with colleagues in the holy life. He would let forth speech that is adroit, not excessive. He would not incline to the way of popular argument. Furthermore, there are 5 ways of pollution in the world, in the dismissal of which a mindful one should train. He should rise above passion for forms, sounds, also tastes, odors, and touches. A mendicant possessing mindfulness with mind completely released would dismiss any preference for these ways. In good time, rightly, thoroughly investigating the way, become unified in mind, he would strike down the darkness.